number one. Our Capstone project is based on Makro Supermayorista. Our group members include Lena, Andrea, Ashish, Patricia, and myself, Kathy Lisa. The agenda for today is the overview. Second is the initiative or change, scope, benefits, and potential challenges, the impact on employees, few recommendations, participants, stakeholders, and results, and finally, the group member contributions.
Okay, let's look at the overview. Makro belongs to a Dutch holding called SHB that have 5 companies. SHB has around the world 55 employees and Makro has 1,000 employees. For this reason, it's a large company. Makro has presence in through Latin America. And finally, Makro is focused on the wholesale business, especially in the sector HoReCa, hotels, catering, and restaurant. Let's move on to the initiative. The initiative was a change of the company reorganization, launching a new concept, which is a smaller store format called Makro Urban Market. The purpose is make face to the new competitors, especially to the retail sector in the market due to the changing demand. Now let's move on to the scope. In the scope, there are 3 main points. The first one is physical infrastructure. They pass from built-up area for the store of the 9,000 square meters to 1,700 square meters. Now, the second one is sales model. They was trying to be closer to the end customers, such as families. And finally, the store location reached to be located in urban area rather than rural areas. It's important to know that before was required a membership, and this membership is no longer required.
Thank you, Andrea. So let's talk about benefits and potential challenges which Makro is facing. So first, they putting their ideas and opportunity in play. They want to make a dent in the market by giving that macro urban stores. So it's the idea about a positive change that they can give a good services to their customers as well as their employees get a benefit from the company. So they provide a platform to gain knowledge for their employees, and they can sharpen their skills via learning new technology and skills. So such mindset for betterment of a company helpful to employees by giving them space, holidays, and their work atmosphere, where they feel free to work anytime, and they can give their best efforts. So impacts on employees are the vision of a macro superstore, because they think that if employees are happy and can work on their workplace, it's really better for company. So such development of a company is really indirectly development of employees, because employees are gaining skills, they're gaining knowledge, and apart from that they are free to work on their space. So it will reduce the stress level. They can do their work life balance, and they can manage that. So it's really good for employees, company, and as well as they can approach as many as customers. That's their future perspective. Next, Patricia. So thanks. The communication is the main recommendation. So first is communication strategy. So communication strategy is important for any company, and Macro is none other than that. They are putting their efforts on the communication. They in the COVID-19, they are more focused how to communicate their employees and how to reach out the customers. So they are making the strategy via the virtual communication through the meetings and the seminars. So such impact is really helpful, and they are using the technology like a social media platform for their marketing and for the development. But the thing is, the change is should be adopted by their employees, and this effect is a little bit hard for a company and employees, but after all, it's really helpful for them.
To present some suggestion about change management for Makro, we need to understand that Makro went through a process of change driven by external factors, not internal ones. So there was an economic shock due to the low interest in consumption and high competitivity in the market. But the main was the change in social trends. From one moment to another, people start going to discount retailers and forget about the wholesalers. That situation forced Makro to change completely its target market. So the suggestion that we think Makro should use to handle this particular situation is to appoint a change agent, but a change agent that is internal to organization, that will get more acceptance and more employees, and will also be, because he will also be affected by the outcome of the situation. Can also use the Lewin's step change model, which allows the company to see the change impacting the organization, get it into the daily activities, into the main processes, and also at the end they will get a balance of the situation. In every change situation, there will be resistance. So we suggest that the company will use a communication and education strategy. It means that the company will be involving all people in the process, the decision making, so they won't be feeling like excluded from the situation.
Now, according with the concepts reviewed in class of the organization behavior, negotiation is an agreement that we can get avoiding conflicts in order to influence the decision making. So in the Makro scenario, the employees was confused due to the new target, the new customer, and the delays. For this reason, the or deal with it, Makro could apply the strategy that is oriented to become a leading influencer that contains 4 main points. The first one is giving a framework on a structure for work. The second one is focusing on the main purpose in the big picture. The third one is avoiding silos. That's mean avoiding working separately. That is to say that all the people must work in the same page. And finally, asking deep questions in order to understand the point of view of the people. Now, in order to reach an agreement, people must to have a prepared negotiation. People must to have a clear benefits for interested parties, and everyone accepts the different agreement. It's important to use assertive language for influence people.
From the self-awareness, it's important to understand that in a big company con a big number of employees, it's normal found different personalities. Depend their cultures, their education, their family, and all their context. They have different perception from this big change that is development in Makro. So it's normal from some people who feel very efficient, will be very efficient or proactive and positive in from the change. But others, on the contrary, will feel insecure and unfair and may even resign. It's normal, that kind of situation in this team. So it could be found that the situation with in attribution error as the tendency to underestimate external factors and overestimate internal factors when making judgments about the behavior of others. So the recommendation in this situation from the self-awareness is that leaders make meetings, training, direct dialogue space, have more communication and develop the ability to management emotions as the different ways of perseverance, the practice to self-knowledge, and that benefits each individual in particular, but at the same time develops the capacity for empathy in each team of the company.
Another concept which is extremely important in OB is leadership. A leader should make sure that the team understands the common goal of the project. And to help the work move forward at a steady and constant pace, decisions should be made in a timely and organized manner. Some recommendations for these are A good leader should be able to manage conflicts efficiently. For example, if two employees disagree on a certain point, the leader should act as a mediator and solve the conflict. A good leader must avoid the path of micromanaging. No employee likes to be micromanaged. A good leader should be capable of removing roadblocks and eliminate any office politics.
From the stakeholders and participants involved, it's important to understand that all of them have expectation about receive the change in positive way and try to implement the necessary change in the most efficient way. All of them are beneficiaries. The company, of course, because they will increase its profits, but employees as well, because they will be able to continue with their jobs from a new point of the view of development their work. So we have some recommendation in this situation. The most important is that we said implement communication strategies and generate weekly feedbacks, meetings, and the beginning and the end of the week, and train space so that all employees can have clear information in this big transformation. And of course, establish spaces for the conflict resolution because problems are normal could come.
Let's talk about conclusion. To conclude, change are inevitable and sometimes important in large businesses because Makro is a big company and want to establish more in the world and start more businesses. So it is crucial for the teammates to work and adapt accordingly. So they are giving employees a free space or a break from work so they can do a work-life balance. And apart from that, the OB concepts like communicating, managing change, negotiation, being self-aware and taking initiative are some of the qualities good employees possesses. So it's really important for company as well as employees to work together.
When applying OB concept on a daily basis, Macro can smooth relationship and processes within the company. But the most important is that the company can get advantage of the internal resources they already have, the knowledge they already have. They will be using hidden resources in the company, and they will figure it out after using the OB concepts.
Finally, I shall be talking about team members and their contribution to this project. As a team, all members gave equal attention and effort towards the Capstone project. The description of OB concepts were divided between each member. All members put their best foot forward to make the project a success. Uh, Ashish and Andrea explained the benefits and potential challenges. Patricia explained about change management. Lena wrote about the importance of self awareness. And myself, Kathy, explained how leadership plays an important role. These are the references that we took for our capstone project. Thank you.